people are struggling and looking for answers. God has given you the solution and has called you to leadership. Now it's time to grow and prepare while learning how to use your gifts. Jamal is an experienced leader that uses his gifts to lead change. Now he's sharing what he's learned with you so you can fulfill your leadership assignment. Prepare to be ignited, to lead like a champion. Well, hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining me. This is Igniting Champion Leaders Live. I am your host, Jamal Maxsam, Igniter of Champion Leaders, CEO of Lead Like a Champion. I'm so glad to be with you. My assignment is to ignite leaders to operate in their gifts and to fulfill their leadership assignment. And so those of you who are watching me on the various platforms, thank you. I'm so glad that you are here, and I'm glad we get to spend this time together. Remember to comment, like, share, save this video to anyone I know that watches this. It will be a blessing to them. Also, feel free to comment, as we are watching and as things are going along, because I will see your comments. And those listening live in Clubhouse or on the replay, thank you guys so much as well. Feel free to comment in the chat box and share this thing out. And so tonight I'm excited to talk to you because I really, really love to talk about leadership. But more than that, I love helping leaders lead and fulfill their assignment. So when I say be successful and lead like a champion, I don't just say it because it's a cliche or a great catchphrase or anything like that. I actually say it because I mean it. And that is my assignment in life, is to help you be successful as a leader, help you lead like a champion, help you use your gifting as you are leading in the places that you have been assigned. And so today we are talking about 5 components or keys of a transformational leadership strategy. A lot of people think they know what transformational leadership is because it's talked about a lot. It's very common. It's one of the newer forms of leadership that people talk about, and they say, "Oh, I'm a transformational leader. I need to come here and make change and change things and get things back on track." Well, that's good. And so we're not going to dig as deep as I would like to on this platform or in this setting, but we do go deeper in Champion University. But we will get to go deep enough to help you understand what transformational leadership is on a basic level, but also what you need to have in your transformational leadership strategy. Because if you are just going into a place thinking, okay, it's time to make change and I'm just run in and make these changes, you've already set yourself up for failure because you're going into a place with more zeal than knowledge. Whenever you have to lead change or be transformational, you want to make sure you're operating with a sense of zeal, excitement, and fervor and passion, but you also want to operate from a place of knowledge and wisdom. Because bringing transformation not only is a process that deals with systems, but it's also a process that deals with people. And people have to be ready to embrace change. And so let me give you a formal definition of transformational leadership. Basically, transformational leadership is defined as a process whereby a person engages with others and creates a connection that raises the level of motivation and morality in both the leader and the follower. So it's a process that creates a connection with other people, which is the essence of leadership. But that connection and that influence should raise the level of motivation as well as raise their morality or their sense of morals, not just in the people you're leading, but also in yourself. So when we're talking about leading transformation and connecting, it's all about raising motivational levels as well as their values in order to see the value in the transformation that needs to happen, or see the value or have a greater value for the people you're serving. You can't lead people to bring transformation for a group group of people if they don't really value that group of people like they should. Because too often, depending on the type of organization you're in, especially if you're in business, you may view, if the people that you're leading only view your customers as just dollar signs and numbers, then they might not want to buy into the transformation. If you're leading a school, they might not value the students like they should. They may just be like, here, I'm here for this certain amount of time. Let me get this check, and I'm gonna help them grow. I'm gonna teach, but it's their job to get it. And so you have to make sure that there's the appropriate value on the people who are being served so that they can really connect to the why and the need for transformation. Because transformational leadership is concerned about improving the lives of people. The people you serve directly, as well as the people that you serve indirectly. And it's concerned with improving the performance of the people you are leading and developing them to their fullest potential. So transformation isn't just, let's just change this organization and get it on track, but it's all about developing people and to reach their fullest potential. Now, I always say you want to look at the people that you're serving directly and then look at the people indirectly, or the people behind the people. Because as you are serving people directly and helping them grow and step into their fullest potential and walk out their purposes and destiny, then you have to think about the people that they're impacting. So you want to develop the people that you're leading in such a way that they can impact others in the way that's needed to be impacted, so that the transformation, for lack of a better term, is multi-generational. So it not only reaches your immediate people, but the people after them and the people after them, where you can start what's called a ripple effect or a wave of transformation, just because you spent the time to correctly pour into those you are leading and transforming the place you are leading. Because the place you are leading should outlast you. When you leave, it shouldn't go downhill. And I know a lot of people, unfortunately, they think, oh, it's not going to be the same when I leave. That's true, but that doesn't mean it should stop performing because you left. It should still perform. All right, so remember, in order to transform an organization, you want to help the people change themselves. They need to change their perspective, which then needs to impact their behavior, which then now after that you can change the system and the culture. And all of these things have to be addressed simultaneously when you're talking about a transformational leadership strategy. Now, here's the thing about transformational leadership, because when we talk about it, a lot of people think it's all about changing something or turning around an organization or doing turnaround work. But transformational leadership can be used, this approach can be used when you're doing turnaround work and leading change, but also when you're accelerating. Now, remember, you will hear me say, those of you who follow me consistently, you'll hear me talk about the fact that when you are leading, you're going to do two things. You're either going to be leading transformation or leading change, engaging in some type of turnaround, or you're going to be accelerating the progress of something. Now, remember, acceleration doesn't just deal with how fast something moves. It also refers to movement without returning to the previous condition or place. So when you talk about an acceleration assignment, it's about keeping things moving and moving them forward and keeping them in the rhythm and pacing that the movement needs to happen so that they stay relevant to the people they're serving. When you're talking about turnaround or a change assignment, you're talking about getting people to stop doing something that they're doing and changing systems that are unproductive and flipping those things and putting systems in place and building a culture so that the people can be productive. So then the place can begin to produce and fulfill its assignment as an organization. And so you're going to have one of those two assignments as a leader. It just kind of boils down to those two. But either way, this approach is going to help you create a strategy in order to do what you need to do. Because remember, acceleration is one strategy. strategy, change is another strategy. And you don't want to make the mistake of trying to use an acceleration strategy when you need to change. And you don't want to make the mistake of using a change strategy when what's required is acceleration. So you need to discern and really hear God as to what your assignment is as a leader in the particular place you're leading. And don't just think my calling is to bring acceleration and think that everywhere God sends you, you're going to be accelerating, because that might not be the case. In one season of your life and in one place he may send you, you might need to accelerate. But then in another place he may lead you, you might need to lead change. And so the assignment is based upon your specific gifting, or let me say this, your specific gifting is tailor-made for the assignment. But don't get locked into one particular assignment versus recognizing that you are called to bring transformation, which can encompass either one of those things. Because when you are leading, you're not called to leadership in order to make things just continue to run smooth. God is not calling you to be a manager, those of you who are leading, because there's a difference between management and leadership. Managers manage stuff and keep them going and make sure that things continue to go like they're supposed to. Leaders cast vision, and leaders are the ones who bring direction. They don't just maintain, they take people in places and organizations from one place to a next. They are the catalyst for going from glory to glory and faith to faith. And so let's get into these 5 components that you need in your strategy. Because as you're thinking about your strategy for transformation, as you're thinking about strategy for 2023 in the first quarter and all of these things, as well as the entire year, there are certain components you want to have or really be considering and have in your transformational leadership strategy so that you can be effective. Now, you can do it without these things if you want to, but if you want to be effective, you want to make sure you include these 5 things. And I got a bonus one for you, so it's actually 6. So here's number 1. The first thing is you want to think about, have in your strategy, how you're going to attract people to your organization. How are you going to attract them to the place you are leading, whether that is customers, whether that's students, whether that's, church members or people to join your church, whatever the case may be. How are you going to attract them? What is your strategy and your method for attracting people to you? We know that people are naturally going to be drawn to you because of who you are and as you operate in your gifting. But what are you doing to make yourself visible so these people can be attracted to you? So that's the first one. How are you going to attract them to you? But also within that, how are you going to retain or nurture or steward them to ensure their growth? Because once they come to you, it shouldn't be a one and done, because then you're going to have to constantly be trying to get more people, especially in the business. You want to make sure you retain people. People don't come to you for a one hit wonder then leave. Yes, we know one man plants, another person waters, God gives the increase. That's Bible. But here's the thing. You can plant and you can water, or you can be the planter while someone else waters, but that doesn't mean that they leave your care to get watered. And so sooner or later, people have to be nurtured and cared for and stewarded while they are with you. That's why they are assigned to you. And that nurture and stewardship is to help them grow. And so part of that first one is this: how do you attract them? But then what is your process or your strategy to retain and nurture them to ensure they grow? Now, number 2 is this: what leadership development? How are you going to develop the leadership ability of those who help you nurture the people? Which you can bring somebody in, and I'm just be real. You can bring me, send me a DM. I'll come in and help you develop your leaders. But how are you going to develop them? You cannot assume that everybody's coming to you is not going to have a desire for leadership. You also cannot assume that those who come with the desire for leadership automatically know how to lead according to the DNA and according to the culture of the organization you're leading. And so you have to help them grow as leaders, but you have to also help them grow according and embrace the DNA and the culture and help them determine what that leadership looks like in that particular culture according to that particular DNA. While each leader has their own individual expression, that expression should complement the DNA of the organization and not contradict the culture and DNA of the organization. And so I'm not talking about making everyone assimilate, but it's about helping everyone to find their place that complements, not contradicts. And so what in your strategy, it should address the leadership development of those who help you nurture the people, because you can't nurture them on your own. You can't nurture everybody by yourself. You need a wider expression of leadership, which means you're going to have to develop these other leaders so that their expression can be added to yours to nurture the people. All right, I hope you guys are getting this. All right, here's the next one. Number 3, nurturing. What is your strategy for nurturing the leaders that come to you? I think I said that one already. Okay, yep, I said that one already. But here's the thing. Here's the question I want to ask for number 3. In your strategy, you should be asking, what is the next step for nurturing those leaders that come to you? See, number 2 was their development. Number 3 is the nurturing of the leaders. So how are you going to nurture the leaders who are nurturing the people? After you give them development, after you help them grow, which should be ongoing, but in addition to that, what are you doing to properly steward them as leadership gifts to you to help that are helping nurture those people? So what is your next step after their development? It can't be, okay, I sent you to the training, you're good. You got the binder from the training, okay, go ahead and do it. It can't be, I mentored you this one time and now that's it, go get at it. What is your ongoing process to care for them and to help them grow and beyond the development part? How are you demonstrating care for them and really caring for their soul, not just their skill set? All right, so that was number 4 or number 3. So number 4 is this. What in your strategy, how are you addressing the personal development of those who do not desire leadership? So for the people whose calling is not to really lead in terms of leading others or obtaining a position or influencing people to do something, because leadership doesn't require the title. The people who say, look, I'm here to support you in the fulfillment of your vision. So what is your strategy, or in your strategy, how are you addressing their growth? How are you helping them grow? The support team, the support role, the supporting cast. How are you intentionally focusing on them as well to ensure they continue to grow, they continue to be challenged, their gifts and skill sets are continuing to be utilized, and that you are using their strengths and gifts so that they can have a sense of fulfillment as they help you fulfill the vision. All right, the next one, number 5. In your strategy, you should be thinking about vision execution. Now, as you think about and strategize how to execute your vision, you may have to simplify that vision. You may have to prune it, not reduce it, but prune it to be more productive. Because there are a lot of complicated visions, and multi-paragraph visions on people's website. You can have this long vision statement. You can have this big vision Word doc or whatever the case may be. And that looks really good when you have to submit for financing or donors and all of that. But when it comes down to the everyday, how simple is it so people can help you execute? Because the simpler it is, the easier for people to execute. The more complicated, the more challenging it will be for execution. And then you might have to look at your vision. Now, I don't believe in reducing the vision, because you should never reduce what God has given you to accomplish. but you may have to prune. What is the easiest, what is the most straightforward? I don't want to say easiest because the vision is never easy, but what is the most straightforward way to accomplish this thing? Do I have to have all these components just because this is what people think I should do? Do I need to do all of these things in my business is because everyone else is doing it and they say that's what a coach or a consultant should do? Or do I need to have all these, and I'm doing air quotes, ministries because that's what churches are supposed to do? They're supposed to have a ministry for every group. Is that necessarily what you are supposed to do as the leader? Or in a school, do I have to have all these after school clubs and activities simply because that's what people expect from a school? See, sometimes other people's expectations can drive you to do a thing that's not even a necessity for the fulfillment of your vision and doesn't enhance the culture and doesn't enhance your ability to nurture people. And so you really need to sit down with I don't want to say with yourself, but really sit down with God and figure out what is God, what are you calling me to do? And what things am I doing that really are unnecessary for the fulfillment of the vision of the place I'm leading? Because especially if you're leading in corporate or in the marketplace or in a non-faith-based setting, it's easy to just do a bunch of activity and not be productive. But as a leader, from a kingdom perspective, your responsibility is to bear fruit, is to be productive and not just be active. So every activity people see you doing should produce something, and it should produce God's intended result for the place you are leading and for the people that you're serving in your leadership. So you definitely want to think about what needs to be pruned and cut out and reduce, not reducing the vision, but what needs to be cut so that I can be more productive. All right, now here's the bonus one. Because initially I said 5, but I'm giving you 6. Here's your bonus. Your vision casting. Your strategy should involve how you're going to cast your vision. And you want to be very detailed, not just the how, but not just say, oh, I'm going to put it out, on use a phone bite, or I'm going to put it out on social media. Okay, but be extremely detailed. What is the frequency that you're going to communicate the vision externally? And what methods are you going to do? So people who hear about you, they know what you're about. But also, I call this internal marketing. How are you going to cast vision to the people in the organization? Because people can get into this rhythm of serving or this rhythm of doing and not even really remember the why or the vision behind what they're doing. All they know is this is what we do. And so how are you going to continuously cast vision to the people inside the place you're leading, as well as people outside? Because the more and the greater the vision, the more that people understand the vision that's serving and helping accomplish it, the better they can articulate it, and the better they can embody it in order to ensure that the people are served correctly and accurately. And so you want to look at in your strategy, how are you going to communicate that vision in a clear, a simple, and concise way that should do these 3 things? It should ignite hope. It should ignite passion. It should help people see their individual goals within it. I'll say that again. With your vision, the vision of the organization, how you communicate it, as well as always ignite hope, ignite passion, and I'm going to add ignite joy, as well as help the people see their individual goals within it. They should be able to see themselves in the accomplishment of the vision. All right, so that was the 6 components that you need in your transformational leadership strategy. Now, I want you to join me tomorrow night. This is being filmed and everything else on Wednesday, December the 28th, 2022. So tomorrow, Thursday, December 29th, 2022, join me for the prophetic seek and strategy session. Now, or experience, I don't want to call it a session. This experience is designed and curated for you as a leader, no matter how you're leading, where you're leading, or the level of leadership you have, or the degree of responsibility that you have, is specifically designed for you to be able to hear the voice of God for 2023 and to get strategy. Now, I just outlined certain things you want to consider. And so in this experience, it's going to a highly prophetic environment where you can hear the voice of God, get his strategy for all the things you need to execute in 2023, and then begin to detail it out and capture that strategy in what I call God's timeline method of planning. So we're going to hear God, we're going to get strategy, and then we're going to document it on God's timeline method of planning. So then after the experience, you can continue to flesh it out, engage in marketing to get people in the experience, engage in marketing to help people curate and facilitate the experience and keep it moving. And so I want you to join me as we do this tomorrow night, December 29th, 2022, for the prophetic seek and strategy experience. You can still register. There's still a little bit of space for you by going to jamalmaxsam.org/2023. Now, go to jamalmaxsam.org/2023, register, and I will see you guys in that experience. It would not be streamed on any platforms. It's going to be a private event that's on Microsoft Teams. All right. So for all of you watching, thank you so much. I want you to join me tomorrow, and I will see you later. I will see you then. But remember, I want you to be successful and lead like a champion. Bye-bye.